Well, look what hero forgot to save the day today. It looks like a barista has to come in and introduce this story. That's all right, because I enjoy hearing small people grovel, like Griviotto in this next story, Contrarian in the City of Joy. Everyone, please enjoy the Witch-Light Monologues, brought to you by Paperback Radio. Written by L.J. Longo. Oh my god, there's poetry in this one. That works great because it's open mic night. This vocal scrying message is for
Chianti.
from
Griviotto? Can. You know me as Otto, if you remember at all. I'm the goblin you met at the last other-sized visibility parade. That asshole on stilts who kept smacking his face into the balloons you tied to your shell. The dangers have demonstrated the human average in different ways. We met again afterwards when I was taking pictures of you, and I gave you my card so it wouldn't be weird. And then, of course, it got weird. I mean, not right away. Shit, I shouldn't have sent that. I had a really nice time with you that night at the bar, and then at your apartment. I mean, it got weird after that because of me. Entirely my fault. Here's some of the pictures from that night. Yeah, I especially like the one where you're letting those balloons float away. I remember I'd been thinking about how they would pop or deflate. And some poor sucker somewhere would have to clean them up. Then you said, "Look at how free they are. All my wishes float with such grace." And I was dumbstruck. Literally struck dumb. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't think of anything. So I just kept taking pictures of the balloons of your wishes as they floated away into the night. Anyways, there's a witch-light hatching near the Holding Street stop of the F line, and I thought maybe you and I could see it together, grab a drink. One of the advantages, maybe disadvantages, to these vocal scrying messages is I can see the sparkle when you start to answer and then don't. So I thought I would take advantage, which is a thing I do. Take advantage. Sorry. We goblins are not a people with a great sense of romance. In most cultures, if you read their poetry, and it's about expressing some inexpressible feeling. The Kappas, for example, have some of the most beautiful things to say about nature and duality, water and land. Real spiritual stuff from your people. But goblins? Our epic poetry is about disappointment. True story. Our cultural masterpiece is called The Tragedy of the Sons of Lucemini. And it's all about his idiot children fucking up. I actually think about poetry a lot. Contrary to stereotypes, I do not work in a bank. I'm a librarian and an archivist for the local alchemist tower. You remarked that night that we met that I say that a lot. Contrary to stereotypes. You made me think how I live my life contrary to stereotypes, which in a way is the most goblin thing I could do. I stay above ground out of spite, to disappoint my mother, to entertain my fellow goblins with my photos and complaints about the so-called City of Joy. I stay above ground to demand my small share of space in this world of humans, elves, and nymphs. I am loud when overlooked. I wear my sunglasses indoors and stand with my arms crossed defiantly. You remarked on that too. At the bar, said I was folded so tightly there was no room for you to slip into my arm. That's the poetic duality of Kappas again. You were flirting and making me reconsider my damn life in the same instant. Are you a poet? Is it specious for me to ask? I'm sorry if it is. Please come tell me off in person. I'm still watching the witch light hatching near the Holding Street stop on the F line. My goblin friends underground are the ones who told me about the Witch-Light. They explore vicariously through my posts. They are very, very verbal about where I ought to go and what I ought to witness. So when they heard about the hatching Witch-Light and the fuss it was kicking up upstairs, they told me to go and see it. I mean, I think it's kind of stupid. These things happen below without anyone needing to monitor and witness. They were persistent, and so 5 months into the hatching, I finally decided to go and see it. I took some pictures of it and posted them. You know that, though, because you still follow me. I think about it a lot, actually, that you still look at my pictures of our city. I got to the Witch-Light today just after dawn when the sunlight wasn't bright enough to hurt my eyes yet. And I have to say, at first, this Witch-Light did not impress me. Underground, they're impressive because it's dark. You can see the mixing and melting of the colors and the unformed wishes spiraling out of the center. They grant wishes, you know. True story. That's why they get monitored so closely, to determine the intention of the wish-giving, to see how fucked up it gets. So I got up in this tree and snapped away at it from above. My followers love overhead shots. And then the humans show up, mostly commuters, families with young children. They ruin my shots. Well, no, not ruin. Reframe. Instead of empty street and pure magic, now I have all these creatures. People who don't have time to stop and marvel at the beauty of nature invading their city. Some of them were interesting. Cool hats, neat shoes. Catch light in fantastic and majestic ways. At any rate, it makes for a good-sized comparison with the Witch-Light. I was zooming in to catch some of the spiraling flames when this gasp and clap goes through the crowd, and when I looked up from behind the camera, this owl-eyed gent was down on one knee in front of a lady witch with a mess of curls and a scarf and a tiny, tiny nose. And I mention the nose because a small nose is a standard of human beauty, apparently. So when I took off my earbuds, I could hear him saying, "I know this is sudden." Sorry, let me get my human voice. "I know this is sudden, but we've known each other for less than a year, and I want to look at pretty and interesting things with you forever. So, will you marry me?" For my followers, I talked about how stupid this was, how saccharine humanity is. But I kept snapping photos. And now this romance was the focal point, and the Witch-Light was the background. The woman looked surprised, then ecstatic. She jumped up and down and clapped her hands, and it would ruin the photos when she shrieked, "Yes!" and the whole crowd cheered. It was a kiss, and it was all so typical. But it made me think of the last time I'd been kissed, which was by you, in the bar, then on the way to the river where we let the balloons fly, and in your apartment. I should have called or wrote. I should not have dodged that last kiss. Don't remember why I did. Instinct, maybe? Fear, probably. It was unexpected. It wasn't my idea, and when things aren't my idea, I've either got to buckle completely to the pressure or fight it with all my might. And I am nothing if not contrary. In that moment, I saw how it hurt you, and I hated myself. I had this voice in my head screaming, "How do I fix this?" But I just put on my jacket and walked out. I didn't know how to fix it. I only know how to complain and follow orders or completely buck tradition. I don't know how to start something new, or think deep thoughts, or feel deep things. I don't know how to unfold. When the couple started to leave, I climbed out of the tree and ran up to them, card in hand, to let them know there were photos of their special moment. No charge. Sorry if I invaded your privacy. You remember the spiel. You remarked on that when we were walking back to your apartment. You said I was the most charming anti-socialite you'd ever met. This human woman started crying when she saw the pictures. Crying right there in the open. I was embarrassed for her, but she was just happy. She kept saying to her future husband, "Look how handsome you are." But he wasn't particularly handsome, even by humanity's standards. His eyes were broken by magic and too big. He was just so much in love. It transformed him into something beautiful. Have I ever been in love like that? I don't know. Even as I say this endless string of words, I'm thinking, what the fuck am I doing? What a damn fool. This poor copper hasn't even said if he remembers me or not. Ken, I know I'm asking too much. I know that everything is too broken and too heavy because I stupidly sandwiched it all with that stupid story of those stupid humans, but I've been stupid and I can't unstupid myself. It's almost noon and the sun is drying out my skin and hurting my eyes even with the sunglasses, and I'm sitting in the shade of a tree waiting to see if those sparkles stop and I hear your voice. That woman invited me to meet her for tea. Probably because she needs a photographer at her wedding. And that's an opportunity. And I'll take any and every opportunity, but I don't want to go alone. Not to the tea, not to the wedding, not through this life. So I'm hoping you'll want to come with me. I'm hoping you'll at least come to see this hatching Witch-Light with me. Because the pictures don't do it justice, and it needs to be shared, and I have no one I can share it with who isn't underground. I'm hoping you'll come and make more wishes to freely fly away. I'm hoping you can force me to unfold again, and this time, I promise to keep my arms open. Just enough for you to slip inside. Yeah. All that to say, I'm near the Holden Street stop on the F line, and I thought, you and I could grab a drink. See Witch-Light, whatever. Try again. From the notebook of K. Contrarian in the City of Joy, K. The city breathes. Scaffolding inhales vine. River tangles spells in mist. Steel and brick sing green. A convenience store on Avenue 4. Tiny glass apples. Lost wishes traded for salt, lavender, and milk. Behind the counter, starlight, glitter and leather, neon flicker on wing. Other-sized visibility parade. Towering trees march with pebbles in the sunlight. Friend, can you see us? For the Gobbler's photographer, whose camera my balloons kept blocking. Stilts in the danger of demonstrating captured by the flash. Hello. His name was I Live Contrary to Stereotypes Otto. Gallant archivist. Spiky jacket. Flash bulb's smile captures life above. Out of spite for those still below in oily dark, afraid to wander or wander from home, Lucamani's lost son tastes like chocolate rum. After the parade. Balloons in the night, my wishes float with such grace. Look how free they fly. Otto, who saw this coming. Purple quartz for eyes, folded so tight there's no room for love to sneak past. chocolate, rum, and spite. On my lips he seldom speaks so warmly. One kiss becomes two, becomes like rainfall, a storm of yes, earthquake, and collapse. Unfold, slip inside, pour grief, sigh, sin, and whisper what cameras can't see. Untitled. Spiked jacket flinch. It's only taking advantage when you leave unkissed. After the parade, too. Wishes in the night, deflate by dawn. Ruptured trash. Who will clean the mess? The Helix Bridge. Moonlight and sorrow, the river sighs unseen by lovers on a bridge. Wait for rain. My skin cracks with thirst. Pride burnt, hope blistered, grief dry. I wait for the rain. Hollow-shelled longing, I carry empty rivers. Someday clouds will break. Street food. Stew in the cauldron, spiced with honey, warm with want. Empty chair and me. Bookstall on 5th Street. Age star map handled by too many desperate men. Torn pages marked down. I can't believe I'm still thinking about this bastard, but Otto is a really good photographer, and I can't make myself unfollow his feed. Voices below shout what to see and when. He is their eyes above ground. Hag's Market, World Tree, Witch-Light, and Watering Hole. I envy their noise, their praise in bold, more. He answers, cynical sneer. I see his longing. If I request, share balloons in the night, would he flinch or smile? His lens flares for them. I fade in the negatives, never his subject. Celestial Tower. Otto really is a good photographer. Glass tower glitters, an image for the buried. He is not reflected. Dragon and workers excavating the street for construction. Smoke curls from the street. Claws scrape the cobblestone deep workers without awe. Dig near, fang and wing, shovels hoist the stone as fire. Path splits, dust spills gold. The couple by the Witch-Light. Why is he such a good photographer? Lover on one knee, drenched in the city's wishes. Yes. Magic made real. Vocal scrying message from the asshole on stilts. My name in your mouth. Doomed as a rose in autumn, too late to flower, expressing the inexpressible. I curse your softness. Window closed to spring, still cracked. I curse your softness. Window closed to spring, still cracked by your lightning smile. On the train nearing the Holden Street stop of the F-line. Obstinate lover, charming anti-socialite. Could I forget you? How do you fix this? How to break ice and crack shells? Unharden yourself, unfold, keep your arms open. This poor dry heart thirsts for your endless string of words. Desert trapped turtle, I withered waiting for rain, bowl growing dusty, rain, rain down storms of yes. Pond deep sighs and try again, drown me tenderly. But know this, my storm, even poets have limits. Next time, I'll find rain.
Well, that's another world. Saved, doomed, and or slightly weirder than we found it. Either way, you made it.
And when you're ready to plunge back into the abyss, we'll be here, lurking, whispering.
If you liked today's episode, tell a friend. If you hated today's episode,
you can find us on Substack, YouTube, or wherever you scream into the void about podcasts. Drop us a comment. Send us your thoughts in all caps. We love that. You're charming.
and hey, if you want to help keep these stories weird and our tea hot, you can throw some coins our way on Substack. It keeps the lights on. Literally, lamest writing in the dark.
Paperback Radio, no ads, professional narrators, and humanish weirdos telling you strange tales week after week, after week, after week, after week.
We told you to stay in the back room, Drizzy. Thanks for wandering through the chaos with Paperback Radio.
See you next time.